Welcome everyone to another Talking Geeky Stuff with me, Tenshi. So, you just saw my little video introduction scene I put together. Originally it was supposed to be a video for this weekend, and of course Nintendo Direct just dropped. It's going to happen tomorrow. I'm from UK, so I'm not sure what time. I need to check what time it is. And yeah, I was going to publish this video this weekend because of the Legend of Zelda, the start of Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary. So I thought, you know what, since Direct is coming tomorrow and it's going to be 50 minutes long, I think apart from the 2017 unveiling of the Nintendo Switch, I think this is the longest one. So of course I'll quickly put this video together because I wanted to kind of like do some predictions, not about Nintendo or other games, but mostly about Legend of Zelda and the other game that is the other series is also getting a 35th anniversary this year. So we talk about that later on as well. They were supposed to be two separate videos, but you know what? I put them together since it's a Direct. I'm going to talk about that and talk about those two franchises in particular. I won't be talking about prediction of other games. So let's continue. So the first topic is going to be the Legend of Zelda 30th anniversary. Whoops, sorry. I forgot to add the 5th to it. There you go. That's more like it. The 35th anniversary, which is this year. So there's been a lot of speculation about what Nintendo's going to do with Legend of Zelda series this year. Considering it's one of their biggest, is neck and neck with Mario. I mean, on Switch, Breath of the Wild sold more than Mario. So I think the Zelda team is actually bigger than the Mario team. So overall, I think Nintendo's put some more investment money in creating Zelda games. I could be wrong. That's what I read many years ago. And of course, Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Not just Nintendo, but just in general. My two best games of all time is Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. So eagerly looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they talk a bit more about Breath of the Wild 2 on this Nintendo Direct. So since we're talking about a Zelda game, and people they try and compare the 35th anniversary with last year's Mario 35th anniversary. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the Mario 3D collection. You like it or not? I personally like it. Yeah, they could have done a lot more, but considering we're in a worldwide pandemic and so on and so forth, and there's been a lot of talk about the 6 months exclusivity before it goes off the shelf, both physically and digitally. Big talk about that. I won't go into details which side I'm actually on. That's for another video, I think. Me personally, I'm hoping that they would put more effort into the Zelda 35th anniversary. I'm hoping for a collection. Wonder what games though. This is some of the games I hope they might redo. Me personally, I'm hoping for the collection, maybe about 3 games, hopefully maybe 4. Me, ideally, I would love to have Ocarina of Time, Master of Metroid, the DS, the 3DS remakes, and then of course you've got the HD Wind Waker and Twilight Princess in one cartridge. So that's 4 games. And then of course they have a Super Mario World Bowser Fury separate game, like for the Skyward Sword, which will do upgraded graphics, frame rate, controls, etc. That'd be sort of like a separate release. And then with the handheld games, maybe release some of the handheld games on the Nintendo eShop. Then of course maybe do a kind of online 4 swords like Mario 35. That'd be pretty cool. As for the eShop game, what would I personally like? I mean, there's been talks about recently with the Nintendo trademark in the Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Wouldn't mind seeing those. They can do a remake of them and make the control a little bit different, of course. I would like to see Ages and Seasons put on the eShop. Minish Cap, I'd like to see that too. So those three probably be my good picks for the eShop. Then of course I just mentioned the 4 games I put in the collection. So how I would do it is, once the Direct rolls in, they announce Ages, Season, Minish Cap, maybe a 4 Swords online that will go live, like a stealth drop online now. And then maybe in March, April, just before the financial year, release the collection with those 4 games: Ocarina of Time, Blossom and Jura, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. And then maybe midsummer, end of summer, do a brand new re-release of Skyward Swords. And then end it during the holiday season, maybe December, with Breath of the Wild 2. That's how, well, that's what I wanted to happen, of course. And that would definitely, wow, I mean, if they did that, just the Zelda games alone, that would shift so much console. They easily hit the 100 million console mark beyond that if they did that. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, that they do that. Hey, a Zelda fan can always hope, right? So that is my hope for the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary. Okay, let's move on to the other game I also want to talk about, which I was actually going to make a separate video, but because the Direct dropped, I thought, let me just combine them both together and talk about it as well. It's the Metroid Prime, or the Metroid series. I know that I personally don't mind. I personally really do like the Metroid series. One of my friends asked me once, do I like the 3D Prime stuff or the 2D? I like them both. I would say probably 2D, just by aging it, because the 3D ones or the first-person shoot ones only been free, the trilogy itself, and a lot of the other ones have been kind of 2D, 2.5D, for example. So I'm hoping if they make the Metroid Prime 4, which I'll talk about in a second, then if that comes out and be as good as the first Metroid Prime, that might balance things up. But I'm hoping they'll really do something with Metroid this year, because Samus has been kind of off a little bit, or lost a little bit in the last few years. I mean, with the whole Metroid Prime 4 thing, where they had to change studios halfway through the production, that kind of course, stopped development. So I would love to see you bring it up. Of course, we all know it's still technically a rumor because Nintendo's not announced it, is the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD collection. So ideally, what I would love to see, kind of mirrors Zelda 35th is, so start off the first half of the year with a release of the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD collection, and then release some of the kind of classic Game Boys handheld, like Super Metroid. I think that's what they're on there anyway. So Fusion, other Zero Mission, other Game Boy Advance games on the eShop. Maybe have that like a stealth drop, and then sometime during the summer or autumn, that rumored 2D game come out. And then maybe for like the E3 June, July, if they have another Nintendo Direct, we'll probably do a announcement of Metroid Prime 4. Of course, I'm hoping that it get released this year, but if you go by the development cycle, it's just too soon to release it. So I'm thinking probably autumn holiday season 2022, if you go by the cycles, because a game like that takes a good 3 years to make, right? So I don't expect Metroid Prime 4 this year, but I expect maybe in the middle of the year when Nintendo does another direct, they'll announce Metroid Prime 4 release window and a good, awesome trailer to accompany it. So that is what I want with Metroid. So some of the classic Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance, handheld games, released in eShop. And then Metroid Prime Trilogy HD gets released springtime maybe. Then the rumored 2D one gets released. Also, maybe do a Metroid Pinball, kind of like the Mario 35 sort of thing, or the Tetris 100 for the 35th anniversary as well. Because I really think Metroid is primed, pun intended, to come back. So that's my picks. And I'm hoping Nintendo may announce some of these in their direct. Of course, never get your hopes up too high with these, just in case. But it's hard because with Nintendo, their directs are hype, and it's been a long time since they last did a full direct, right? So it's always good to speculate. So I'm hoping they announce some goodies for both Zelda and the Metroid Prime series. I keep on calling it Metroid Prime, but I'm saying the Metroid series. Here's hoping, fingers crossed. Let me know. Of course, if you watch this video, you must be a fan of Nintendo games in general, of Metroid, Zelda. But let us know, let me know, is if they do them, what kind of games would you like to be in the collections for both Metroid and Zelda? Let me know. If you like these videos, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more talking geeky stuff with me, Tenchi. But anyway, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. And please stay safe. Goodbye.